Welcome to Marineverse Cup Yacht Pro Racing. Today is day 7 in the 43rd weekly series of 2022. The standings to date weave a story of war between Poland's AZJ and Australia's JD. Captain J and Chicago Aaron have set their sails and sights on a possible third-place victory. Blue Wind, also with a strong showing this week, leads the midfield pack. They'll have to conquer the wild waves off sunny Sydney's coast to claim their place in standings. Racing marker order is 1-2-3-2-3. They've donned their VR headsets to match race this course, and we get to see it unfold as each lap is put together for this combined look. Now let's begin, as all good stories do, with the start. The boats spring off the line, led by Salt Flat Sam and JD. Florida Mutineer decides to go his own route, chasing faster wind on the right side of the course on this opening leg. It's a true luxury to be able to throw on some glasses and steer the bow of a boat into the wind on such a sunny day. Every one of these seasoned virtual reality vets have their own way of racing. Some from their couch, others standing in a living room, and some prop fans up in front of them so they can feel a breeze. And you won't get any better nautical VR experience than this. We see Strong Bear in 8th catching that dark water, the gust of wind propelling him 6 positions up to 2nd. That's just behind JD in 1st and just ahead of Chris Miss in 3rd. But all positions are fluid as just a boat length is separating 1st place to 8th. And here we find the first mark, waiting almost patiently. Strong Bear on the left is now back in 8th, his wind chasing costing him extra distance to the turn. Far right, AZJ and Captain J are sailing slower, but closer to the wind. They're taking the most direct line and holding 1st and 2nd place as a result. Now captains begin tacking to starboard for the yellow buoy. Coming out of the crunch, each sailor is adjusting for Mark II. It can be tricky managing 2 sails when soloing in VR. Usually it's the main sail that's adjusted first, followed by the smaller jib on the front. But the skilled can do them both in tandem, and that helps them pick up distance on the rest, who are still fidgeting to find the speed. Speaking of speed, there's Florida Mutineer. He's at the back of the pack and needs every bit of breeze to help him catch up. The ships start their approach into turn 2. Some start out wide and cut close to the buoy as they exit. Others start close and then run wide as they exit. But it's the middle ground that's usually best, as we see with AZJ steering his black yacht close to the buoy at the apex of the turn. He was second into the mark but quickly opens up a boat length over Captain J. The boats are moving fast into the lighter blue patches of calmer wind on this leg. Some are choosing to try and skirt the edge, such as JD in the blue boat on the left, but they'll have further to sail back as they set up for the corner. Through the turn, most captains decide to carry on port tack, but Strong Bear, with a decisive move to starboard, chooses the most direct line back to Mark II. That sees him move from 8th place to 1st. AZJ on the right, first into the turn, is now a boat length back in 2nd. Surviving the 4th of this 6-leg race will mean a slow slog back to the previous mark. It looks like all boats will have to sail up through calmer water to get there. Now there's a large gust moving along the edge of calmer wind. The blue boat of JD in 3rd and Captain J's red ship in 4th are fighting to find it. The extra height on the course will pay off for them as they have a faster angle to the mark. They're currently 40 meters back from Strong Bear. Let's see how much distance they can make up by the turn. The wind was unfavorable to Strong Bear. That's him crisscrossing now. His lead has evaporated after being forced to tack to get a line back. That shifts him to the rear of the pack. Captain J and JD put their higher lines to good use. They've gained 20 meters to challenge AZJ into the turn, but it's AZJ's sail control that helps him exit quicker from the mark. He opens up a couple of boat lengths of lead in a matter of seconds as he hunts the final buoy. He's followed by JD in 2nd, then Captain J. Chris Miss is holding 4th, Blue Wind has 5th, Salt Flat Sam sails in 6th with Simon close in 7th. Strong Bear is around in 8th, Florida Mutineer is now nearing the turn in 9th. Back at the front, JD tries to use a gust to the left to give him a push to the mark. AZJ has the lead, but Captain J and JD all enter the turn virtually tied. The committee boat seemingly bobs in anticipation, and it's going to be a great vantage point for the finish for this week's series. The race is on to the line. Everyone stays on port tack out of the turn, as the midfield is a minefield of weak wind they'd all like to avoid. Chris Miss tacks first for the finish. AZJ and Captain J follow suit. JD hot on their heels. Greece's Chris Miss has moved from 4th to 2nd behind AZJ. Just a boat length now, separating the top 3 spots. Hold your breath and your beverages for a frantic finish. And it's AZJ slicing past the stern of the committee boat, who ducks in for the win. Captain J follows 1.3 seconds back. He's just a half a second ahead of JD, who claimed third. Here's how the rest of the fleet fared today. Despite the quick turns and wind gust hunting, despite the creative lines and frantic sail trimming, the final standings don't change a bit. The order of the top 10 from yesterday remains the same at the close of the Marineverse Cup, Week 43 Yacht Pro Series today. But tomorrow is the start of a new series. Grab some VR glasses, clear a space, and tilt the fan in your direction. Then join us, the best sailors in virtual reality, for the next week of racing, where you might be the one hoisting the Marineverse Cup.